Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hello, welcome to the end of the back to school drive. Welcome to the Drive Leader Appreciation event for back to school. We're so excited to have you here. My name is Evelyn Huynh. I am the Partner Relations Manager here at Family Giving Tree. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I've been here for a little over 5 years, and I'm happy to have you all here and host you today. So I hope you're as excited as I am to be celebrating what was a really, really busy but wonderful summer. Just so you all know, we are recording today's event to share out after, and to especially share out to those who were unable to attend but signed up. So just FYI, there will be a recording if you wanted to watch any parts over, or if you had to take off early for whatever reason, which I hope you don't have to. But please feel free to take advantage of this opportunity. You are in a virtual environment with a chat function. Say hello. Want to know who's here. Who are you? Share your pronouns if you're comfortable, and where you're from and how you're feeling today. Also get familiar with the emotes. Those little emoticons are our friends, and we want to use them. So please feel free to use those whenever you see fit. That is the name of the game today. We're going to use those to help celebrate, and use the chat to celebrate and get to know you all. Yeah. All right. So during every Family Giving Tree all hands meeting internally, we always kick off with jokes, with some laughs, just to kind of ease into our event and lighten the mood. So I decided I'm going to share a few jokes with you. I'm just going to warn you, they are groaners, but hopefully they'll get you nice and warmed up. Okay. Feel free to throw it in the chat if you know what the punchline is. Number one, what did one pencil say to the other on the first day of school? Looking sharp. Okay. Number two, which school supply is the king of the classroom? The ruler. I thought that was cute. Okay, last one, I promise. Which tree is the math teacher's favorite? Geometry. Okay, the author should have written Family Giving Tree, but it's fine. I'm going to go with geometry, but we all know the real answer, right? I know, I warned you, these were groaners. Okay, so we're all nice and warmed up. We've got some chuckles in there. Before we officially dive in, we actually would like to get started and open the celebration with a land acknowledgement. So we work and gather remotely and in person on the unceded land of the Muwekma Ohlone peoples. We acknowledge the Ohlone community and their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. We also acknowledge that it was founded upon exclusions and erasures of many Indigenous peoples, including those on whose land our organization is located. This acknowledgement demonstrates a commitment to the process of working to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism and the trauma of dispossession, and to respecting and enhancing Indigenous sovereignty. So by making this land acknowledgement, we hope to educate others and to build mindfulness and intention in thinking for ourselves about what it means for us all to work, live, and play in this generous land space. So if you're unfamiliar with the practice of land acknowledgement, please use this as a starting point in a larger effort to understand the histories and the realities of Indigenous people in this area. So what I'm going to do right now is actually in our chat, I'll share a link to the website for the Muwekma Ohlone community, so you can learn more about these folks. And if you're joining us from somewhere not in the South Bay, or maybe you are from another place that is not in the South Bay and you want to know whose land on which you reside, I'm sharing a second link now that gives you, that is a tool for you to be able to look and see whose native land you're on. So really great resources. Check them out if you get a chance. And please be mindful of where you are, where you're working, and who was originally here, and just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Okay. With that, at this time, I would really love to introduce to you our wonderful and esteemed CEO and co-founder of Family Giving Tree. And please, Jennifer Cullenbine, help me welcome Jennifer. Thank you.
Welcome all. So happy to have you joining us for our celebration, and how awesome it is that we get to celebrate a very, very successful drive. So I am going to share my screen here. I love this picture. So we had a volunteer who actually spent 148 hours of volunteering in the back to school warehouse. And she created a quilt for us. And this is the quilt that she created. And Steve is the winner of that quilt. And they raised over $1,000 for the Family Giving Tree, which is pretty exciting for us. I'm going to thank her for that. And here's our team, our part of our warehouse team and our volunteers. The far right is holding the yellow crayon is Winnie. Winnie is our volunteer who practically manages the warehouse for us. And she came in with 273 volunteer hours, which is absolutely mind-blowing. And then on the far left is Vesna, and Vesna gave us 106. And then Ron, who's not pictured here, gave us 113. So those are our top volunteers who helped us this year. Literally could not do it without them. So thank you for all of your hard work and all of your efforts, volunteer and in the drive leading space. You guys, our drive leaders are literally the most critical thing that we have. We have these beautiful wish cards and we need to send them somewhere, and we're not going to be able to distribute any backpacks to students in the Bay Area without our drive leaders' efforts. So all of this success is really from you all. So this year we helped 228 schools in the Bay Area. That's 11 counties that were served, and 27,273 children went back to school with backpacks. Can't stress enough how incredible that is that those students did not have to stress about their first day of school. They were able to go and be confident their first day. They don't have to borrow pencils from anyone. And it's an absolutely fantastic experience to go from someone who has to worry about those things to a student who's confident and ready to learn in their classroom. I was very fortunate this year. I got to go to several of the distributions and see children receive backpacks. This little guy was so fun. He was in line waiting to pick out his backpack, and he's wearing a Spider-Man shirt. So he runs in, grabs the backpack, puts it on, and that's it. Like, there is no second choice for this boy. And then his little sister did the same thing. So I guess she's following her big brother, but they both got their Spider-Man backpacks. That is one of the things that we ask our schools to do, is to let the students choose whichever backpacks they would like. So if little girls want to be Spider-Man or Batman, they are welcome to it. Here is another distribution I went to with some very happy young ladies with their backpacks. You should see them open backpacks. I don't have any pictures of that, but it's a pretty awesome experience to see them. It's like kind of Christmas morning looking through your stocking, right? You're finding all the little things that are hidden inside in all of those pockets. And these guys were absolutely precious. I feel like the backpacks were bigger than the kids in this case, and probably too heavy, full of supplies for them to carry, but here they are, obviously very happy. Again, they got to choose their own backpacks, and she went straight for Lightning McQueen, which was pretty cool. And this is my favorite note ever found in a backpack, and I just wanted to share it with you. Don't grow up, it's a trap. I absolutely adore that card. So some of our drive leaders and our donors have a great sense of humor, and they share special messages with the kids. And that one is just my absolute favorite in the whole world. So thank you again. That's all I have for you. I'm so grateful for all of your attention and all of your help. And we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jen. Everybody, give her a round of applause. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so up next, we've got a really exciting segment in our program. We have some really wonderful guests with us today, and I would love to invite them to the screen stage. Right now, they are folks from the Migrant Education Program, the Santa Clara County Office of Education. So if we can, please. Yes, wonderful. Hello, Melissa, Cindy, Israel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. We have some wonderful folks with us, and I want you to get to know them. So I would love to turn it over to them so they can introduce themselves to you. So if we can, maybe we can go in like alphabetical order by first name, if you don't mind. If you can share your name, your role in the Migrant Education Program and how long you've been part of it.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us. My name is Cindy Camilleri, and I am the Migrant Education Recruiter lead for Santa Cruz County, San Benito County, and part of Santa Clara County as well. I have been working for the Migrant Education Program for 5 years, and I started working at a district level, and I am currently working at a region level now.
Hello, my name is Israel Rivera, and I am a current enrollment data specialist lead. I've been in the program for about 5 years, and I started as a recruiter for the region. I did that for 3 years, and now this is my first year as a data specialist. And as Cindy mentioned, a couple of counties, and we cover 6 counties for the region. So yes, we are all over the place. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Carrasco. I am a Migrant Education Program lead recruiter. I support my colleagues and the team in Santa Cruz, San Benito. Oh, sorry, that's Cindy. San Francisco, San Mateo, Alameda, and part of Santa Clara County. I have been a regional recruiter for about 5 years, and I have about 9 years of experience working with the Migrant Education Program.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, welcome. It sounds like 5 years is like a magic number here, right? That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's kick things off, and we just want to have a conversation to kind of to understand what this program is, what it means to be a migrant student, or what migrant families are here in California. So anyone who wants to jump in and answer these questions, you're more than welcome to, and you can also tack on to other people's answers. So whatever moves you. Okay, so first things off, let's talk about migrant families. What is a migrant family?
That's a great question. And I'm first going to give you, the fun California Department of Education definition. They define a migratory child as one who has moved with a parent, guardian, or another person having custody from one school district to another, either within the state of California or from another state within the 12-month period immediately preceding their identification. As such, a child in the order that the child, a parent, guardian, or another member of their family might secure temporary or seasonal employment in agriculture or fishing activity, and whose parents or guardians have been informed of the child's eligibility for migrant education services. We are a supplemental program. We are part of Title I. Specifically, we are under Part C. So we're counterparts in the Title I of McKinney-Vento, foster youth, if you are familiar with those programs. So think of us as a counterpart to that. So that's the specific definition of migrant students.
Very, very thorough.
Yeah.
No, I love it. So you mentioned agricultural, fishing. Are there any other industries that these migrant families support, or is it those two like the main ones?
So when a child is considered migratory, the parent or guardian has worked in agriculture, dairy, lumber, or fishing industries. Those are the main general industries that would qualify a student for our program. Also, a qualifying move needs to have been done for the work in the last 3 years. So there is a very specific time frame in which the parents need to have engaged in any of these qualifying work. Also, a qualifying move can range from moving from one residence to another or across school district boundaries, especially here in the Bay Area. For example, if a family from Union City moves up to San Leandro, that is considered change of residency, right? Because they're going across school district boundaries, as long as there's an economic necessity. A young adult may also qualify on their own. Here we're talking children under the ages of 22 that have not graduated high school. Right. So these are students that we consider out of school youth. They could also qualify on their own if they've done the same, right? If they've moved within the past 3 years to also engage in the qualifying work or have a history of qualifying moves. And then they are eligible from the date that they move for 3 years. So everything is about timing within finding our families and recruiting them and establishing eligibility.
Oh, interesting. Okay, good to know. So, having worked with these families and these students, what kind of challenges have you seen that these families face in their day-to-day living here in the US?
I think we can say some different challenges. For example, the younger ones, the students can be below grade level in reading or math, not knowing that they need glasses, maybe having difficulty focusing in class, have not attended school before kindergarten. So for example, they didn't attend preschool, so we try to offer the preschool through the migrant program so that way they are prepared for school, as well as the challenges that we see in some of the older students we work with. They could be like mental health, low attendance, because they have to help provide for the family. So they have to be working, taking care of their siblings or their own kids as well, because they are under 22. So some of them might already have kids of their own, low credits, and some of them come from another country and they don't know English. So we have to try to provide that for them, as well as we have encountered substance abuse. So we try to refer them to the correct and appropriate organization so they can get the help that they need to be successful.
Wow, that's a lot. So from our side, we've actually received feedback from like various schools throughout the different counties. Some of the folks we work with that will tell us that they don't allow things like photos to be taken or allow us to like attend their distributions out of just protection for the students, fear of having undocumented students or whatnot in terms of like the potential risk of their exposure. Is there any sort of like correlation? Like, what is that correlation between like migrant families and refugees and asylum seekers?
So that's actually a really good question, because often, especially with newcomers or, I think when we hear immigrant, migrant, we kind of just put them all together. We do want to differentiate that migrant families can be refugees or asylum seekers, but we do not inquire about their immigration status, nor does that affect their qualifications of being part of the MEP if they meet our qualifications. We specifically focus on our eligibility criteria of having a move to engage in these qualifying jobs that we have. But like I said, that doesn't mean that our migrant families aren't refugees or aren't asylum seekers. They could definitely fall into these groups. And we're very mindful of it. So anybody that is afraid of, any public charge or maybe I did this work and got paid in cash. Are you going to report this? We don't report any of the work that the parent tells us they've done or engaged in to any other agency outside of the Migrant Education Program. Even though we are a federal program, it stays within our program, 100% educational. It's just to establish eligibility. So we also have, our little flyer letting them know that we aren't considered a public charge, and if they are part of or currently going through some legal procedures, that they can show that to their lawyer and like let us know if they would like to qualify for the program. We always leave it up to the parent. I know it's something that's very real and it definitely affects them a lot more. So we just want to make sure that we're mindful and we have the resources available to them. That security of like this program for my child won't affect my legal status here in the country or jeopardize it.
Yeah, that's so important because I feel like that innate fear is just there, and it takes a lot to kind of convince people that you're in a safe space to be supported, right?
And right. And our questions, right, our interviews are very personal. Like, from where to where did you move? Like, that can be a very intimidating question for someone that, maybe has moved throughout the whole US to get to the Bay Area. Maybe they were in a detention center. So we understand how for some families, those questions can be very triggering. So we are all our recruiters are very mindful about asking the questions in a way that doesn't invoke fear in our families.
That's great. That's great. So in doing some research about the Migrant Education Program, I found somewhere that it stated that 1 out of every 3 migrant student in the US actually lives in California. Is that still the case today?
It is pretty much the case. I was getting we have 2 databases to be able to find a record or a report of how many migrant students do we have at state level and federal level. So the database we have for federal migrant program it gives us 241,207 migrant students. And the one that we have here in the state of California is called MSN. It gives us 74,354, which is about 30%. So it is safe to say that 1 out of 3, yes, of migrant students in the nations are here in the state of California.
So you all are very busy. Well, so I mean, at this point, then being in California and working in California under this program, you probably end up having the most experience because you're churning through the most amount of people to support, right? So do you find that your department has maybe been able to serve as an example to programs in other states, or like how have you been able to partner and work with growing the program like at the federal level?
Yes, for federal level, well, as I mentioned, we have this database called M6. Now, M6, it's a federal database that gives us information in terms of especially moving or demographic information of every migrant student. So there are many instances that we collaborate, quote unquote, with other states, farm companies, and they are constantly moving their workers from one state to another. For example, in the city of Gilroy, we do have a large population of migrant families coming from the state of Arizona, and there's the same company that has farms and land here in California as well as Arizona, and the same workers seasonally are constantly moving back and forth. So we are collaborating with the migrant program in Arizona to make sure that the students that are coming over here, we have the right information, we have the right moves, and also we have a record of, especially for high schoolers, that credits in classes are very important for graduation. We have a record of their course history, so we can monitor and make sure that the courses that they're getting over here in the state are correlated or help them to actually be able to graduate wherever they're finishing their last senior year, whether it's here or Arizona. Also, we have other states migrating over here, like Washington and Oregon are of course, our neighbors, but also very common to come here. One of the things that helps us, that this application or software helps us a lot, is to also notify other states that our migrant families are moving there. So the minute that one of our migrant families leaves our region, we notified another region, whether it's here within the state or another state, and find the migrant program there tell them we have this family, we have just very basic information that is not to BII, but name and phone number perhaps. We have this family moving over there with you, please contact them and enroll in the migrant program there. So as our requirements are time sensitive, as Michelle mentioned, that every 3 years they have to requalify pretty much and be constantly moving and working in agriculture. So we do find that collaboration with other states through this database that helps us to find also the right resources and target the specific families moving across the country.
That's great that that support just kind of is able to travel with them, right? That's
Yes.
great to hear. So then you mentioned seasonality of the moves. I'm curious to know, first of all, within the Bay Area, what does that distribution of like migrant families and students look like from like county to county?
Yes, in the Bay Area, well, as I mentioned, or Melissa mentioned, we cover 6 counties. So these counties are Alameda, Santa Clara, San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Cruz, and San Benito County. Out of our jurisdiction, like part north of the Bay Area, if that's considered Bay Area, like above San Francisco or Berkeley, that's a different region. And I believe it's region 2. Then on the west, we have region 26. And then on the south, we like past San Benito County, you have Monterey County, then you have another region. And even in Santa Cruz County, within that county, there's another region in the Watsonville City. So in our region, 6 counties, we have, if let's say for the state, the county of Alameda, we have about 1,107 students. Santa Clara County has 1,067. San Francisco County has 258. San Mateo 466. Santa Cruz in the coast area has 89, and San Benito County has 1,764. So obviously, based on the more rural agricultural areas is when we have the most concentration of migrant families. However, and needless to say, even within populated urban cities like San Francisco and San Jose, we do have a large number of migrant families that even though they are based and live in the city, they migrate to agricultural areas for a season and then they come back to their home residence in the city. So we are all over across the board.
Lots of moving around.
Yes.
So how have you all been able to help the students that are in the migrant education program essentially rise and thrive in their own learning environment and beyond?
Well, the Migrant Education Program does provide supplemental education support to the students. Our focus is to provide these students with the support that they need to graduate high school. And in order to fill that gap that migrating so much during the year can cause, some of the services that we can provide or that we do provide are after school interventions, tutoring in ELA and math, cultural education and self-pride. We may do some field trips to universities and colleges to get them prepared, education and information on other options because college is not for everybody. So trade school, military, if they are interested, educational field trips to Washington, D.C., museums, Walden West Camp, Monterey Bay Area Aquarium, the Tech Museum, Fresno State Program. So those are more of the focus educational support that we provide. But other than the educational, we also try to do our resource and health fairs where we provide basic vision screenings and vouchers if they need any glasses. We provide vouchers so that they can get a free full exam at any optometrist as well as glasses and also vision or dental screenings, I'm sorry. We try to collaborate with other organizations that do provide the free services for them. So we do the dental screenings, and then we have an organization that does the follow-up, like for cavities and stuff like that. And it's all completely cost-free for the families, especially the ones that don't have insurance. They don't have to worry about that. We work with other organizations that can do mental health workshops for the parents and the students. We provide transportation. We pick up and deliver food from food banks at times. We provide hygiene kits like toothbrushes, toothpaste, feminine products, men and women shaving stuff. What else? For H2A workers, we try to get donations for jackets, beanies, working gloves, working goggles, socks, raincoats, working boots, so that they can have all that, and they don't have to pay for it through their work, right? Because sometimes they do ask for them to pay for it, and it comes out of their salary. So we try to provide for them so that they don't have to worry about that. That's one less expense that they have to worry about, and more of their check goes back to their families in another country.
Yeah, that's really important. And then also from our side, we work with you with the backpacks and school supplies for the summer. How are those types of resources impacting the families and their students?
I mean, everything and anything helps. And I think just to see them, that they are picking their backpacks, like Jennifer said, is just an amazing reward for us. The kids are so super excited. The backpacks are so expensive nowadays that, our families are like, oh my God, it's like $40 for just the backpack. And then we have to go and purchase the supplies. But when they know that you guys are providing this for them, they are just ecstatic. They're super happy. That's more food on the table for them, right? That's a bill that they can pay, so it's super, it's been I don't know how to say it, but it's just been an amazing help, just working with you guys, collaborating with you guys. It has really changed a lot of our families' lives.
Well, you do wonderful work, and we're happy to partner with you time and time again. It will continue. So
Thank you.
So I would love to hear from each one of you on this one, but what delights you the most about working with the migrant students?
Thank you, Cindy. Well, there's a couple of things. As Cindy mentioned, this job is quite rewarding. And one of the examples, I believe, from my experience when I was a recruiter, is that providing services that the parents haven't been able to obtain on their own. So having their kid need the glasses, we go to the eye exam, we give them the voucher with VSP. We guide them to go through the clinic and make the appointment. We even go to the clinic while they are in their appointment to interpret or help them understand anything that may have been confused about. And the moment they get their glasses, it is a very rewarding experience to see how basic needs that many families may take for granted, they're very appreciative. This pandemic was a hit for everyone, of course. When we were able to provide Chromebooks and families that for the first time open up a computer, kids having their first child in school that is 5 years old, kinder. So obviously neither the parents nor the children know how to use the computer. So we went and did classes in group or one-on-one tutoring, showing how to using the basic stuff so they can communicate with their teachers. And experiences with, of course, with the backpacks, which is fascinating, with the gifts in Christmas season, or even more fascinating for the kids, jumping up and down, because it's not so much of a backpack with supplies, because it's education, but actual toys. things that make them happy and they get to play with. So, and the parents, very grateful, sometimes in tears, sometimes they don't know what to say. You can see their facial expression on how excited or grateful they are for receiving these donations. And of course, all this work wouldn't be able to happen without the support of organizations like yours, because we're a federal program with a specific funding for education. So obviously, many people may know, may not know, the funding doesn't come for toys, but it comes for specific items that we can provide for education. So having a backpack full with supplies that is an amazing help for the families, and having toys, it's a cherry on top. And any other needs. So whether it's educational, like kids trying to apply for scholarship as they graduate from college, or applying for the first time as an adult that trying to go to learn English here, coming from other countries, and in the gifts. So everything is just so rewarding and amazing, and whether or not it gets hectic or whatever, this is a job we have a passion about, and we enjoy every bit of it. So stressful seasons like data or numbers or things like that, it just doesn't matter. We're happy to do this, and very, very passionate and grateful.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, and for myself, I came from a migrant family where my parents also worked in agriculture. I love what I do. I can relate to our families and understand the challenges firsthand. It feels good to give back to the families who I know really need the support, and to see how the support we offer can change their path in life and to be successful in different aspects of life. Like Israel mentioned, my job to me is not just a job, it's more of a passion, and we love it, and it's super rewarding.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
I think I'm just going to continue echoing my colleagues. We are really passionate, and we have been on the team for the same amount. And I think that passion we exude, we feed off one another. I was also part of the Migrant Education Program myself when I was younger, and I remember coming from Mexico and finding my first friends within the Migrant Education Program. And then being the eldest, I was my parents' translator, and I saw the barriers that they had to overcome to ensure that my sisters and I had the education that we deserved. So now coming full circle and coming onto Migrant Ed as a recruiter, I can definitely relate to our families, and I understand firsthand a lot of the challenges that they face, and also being able to facilitate a support and linking them to additional resources that can change their students' trajectory. That's super rewarding in itself. And also just working with my amazing colleagues that, for those days that we are feeling a little burnt out, just remembering that and tapping into that passion and our whys, and treating all our families treating our parents like, they are our parents, right? Especially for Cindy and I, we can definitely relate to a lot of both the students and the parents.
That's really wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. Is there anything that you think that we should know about these students and their families that maybe we haven't covered today? We covered a lot. You did a wonderful job.
I did just want to, add that, we're always constantly having our recruiter hat. So if any of you know anyone or think of a district that we can possibly recruit, or someone comes to mind, or a good connection you think that we should have within your communities, please let us know. We are in the greater Bay Area, but we are only about 8 or 9 of us that are recruiting in these counties. So there's obviously gaps to fill in certain communities. So thinking about your own communities, if you have someone that you think we can connect with at different organization at yours, at a school or community where we can present about our program. We're always happy to just continue educating the public about our program, and just finding our families. It is very specific requirements, so it can be really challenging sometimes, especially in more urban areas, to find our migrant families, but we know they're here. So I welcome you all to please reach out if you have any connections for us.
You can reach out to us and we can pass the information on to them for sure. So
Thank you, Evelyn.
yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. You have shared your wealth of knowledge with us, and we're so grateful to be able to work with you over the years and to continue working with you, because you're wonderful people. Clearly, you have a passion for your job and you have a love for your job and your community. And we love our community as well. And we're very, very honored to share in that community work with you. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Okay, so if you all have any questions for these wonderful folks, you are welcome to share them in the chat and I can pass it along to them and we can, make connections. Happy to do that. But in the meantime, we would love to move forward into the next portion of our program, which is to highlight you all today, the wonderful drive leaders. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen really quickly so we can get moving with that. All right. So we're talking about our drive leader highlights, because remembering all the good fun stuff about the program is what it's all about today, right? Like, how awesome was this summer for you all who ran your drives? Did you have a good time? Let me know. I want to know what your highlights were, if you want to share them in the chat. Here are a couple of photos that we have from our drop-offs this season. We have a couple that are in the warehouse. Really, really fine drive leaders or even volunteers who were designated by the drive leaders to come and drop off all of those backpacks to us at our warehouse, at our remote sites. You all worked incredibly hard, and clearly you can see we have a very, very diversified group of folks across all ages and everything. We have kids coming in, unloading backpacks who move like twice as quickly as I could, and just have the energy of 10,000 Red Bulls. It was just great. The energy was vibrant and fun, and we had a really, really great season, and we were happy to be able to work with you all to get those backpacks out to all of these students. So a couple of other highlights to share with you. I'm a big data nerd, so Israel and I are kind of, on the same wavelength here. So I have to share numbers, right? I got to share numbers. So this year we were at 339 drive signups. Of those 339, there's always things happen over the summer. People will sign up and then, life happens or things change in their company. And so not everyone is able to engage, even though they've signed up. And so we ended up with 271 active drives, which is an 80% participation rate, which is really good. So round of applause for you all for sticking through it to the end. Out of those 271 or 339 signups, 116 of y'all were first timers for the back to school drive. So some of these folks dabbled in Holiday Wish Drive last year and decided they were going to jump and try out the back to school drive. Some of these other folks were just diving into back to school for the very first time working with Family Giving Tree ever. And that's wonderful. We love bringing in new people. So if you ever know of another group, social group, company, whatever, a friend of yours who might be able to benefit from working with a program like ours, please let them know about us and have them join us. My biggest highlight from this slide is the amount of donations that came in. So we've got our physical donations that came in, and that came in at 6,726 physical backpacks or supply value equivalent. So let me tell you, and Winnie can attest to this because she was in the warehouse, but the amount of extra school supplies and empty backpacks that came in this year were incredible. y'all went shopping, you filled all your backpacks, and then you had spare parts and you brought those in for us, and we used them to help fill other backpacks. We used them to be able to provide for teachers who needed extra supplies for their classrooms. And so it was fantastic. You all did an amazing job. So kudos to you for that. Round of applause, everybody, round of applause. Yes, I am so glad it was such a blast for some of you all. So let's look at what these numbers actually mean. Big deal for me. Growth is a big deal. We had a 10% growth in the number of back to school drives from last year. So yay. The number of physical donations, we actually exceeded our internal goal. My internal number for physical donations was 5,000. So you all went above and beyond that, and that's fantastic. So think about 2024 and let's blow this number out of the water. Remember this year, 6,726? Let's skyrocket that for 2024, shall we? So from last year, we got a 29% bump in physical donations, which is amazing. You all are fantastic. So yeah, you know what? I am going to do this. I have this. For those of you who've been here before, you recognize this little blower. Congratulations, you all did a wonderful job. Also, I know we're not at the end of our program yet, but I just feel the need to like be able to do this. I'm actually gonna end my slideshow so you can all see this, because I'm about to sacrifice a lot here, but yay! Congratulations, y'all did a wonderful job. Oh, I have to do this. It's a celebration, right? I'm gonna have massive regrets because I have confetti all over my desk. And I did this once before and I clearly didn't learn my lesson. So, hats off to you all. Hearty congrats to you all. You did a wonderful and amazing job. And we could not be more grateful to work with such a wonderful group such as yourselves. And we hope you continue that relationship with us in the future, because we couldn't do it without you. So thank you. What's next? We're moving on to the next segment. We do have one more segment to go, and this is big news. So for those of you who did not check out our newsletter, we do have some announcements to make. I have a big announcement to make. So I moved into a new role at Family Giving Tree. I am not leaving. I'm still here, just in a new role. So I was doing community outreach and membership, and now I'm doing partner relations, which means I'm running a team. And one of those wonderful, fantastic people on my team is brand spanking new here, and she is going to be your main point of contact moving forward. So I want to introduce her. So Ashley, please come on out. Meet your wonderful drive leaders. Everybody say hello to Ashley and give her a nice, wonderful, warm welcome. So let's, I'm going to turn this over to Ashley so she can introduce herself and then go ahead and give you a preview of what is coming up.
Wow, well, what an introduction. Thank you, Evelyn. Made me sound fantastic, so I appreciate it. Hi, everybody. I would love to take just a few moments to go ahead and introduce myself, because I will be working with you in the future for all of our future drives coming up. So my name is Ashley Jacques, and I'm the new Community Drive Coordinator here at the Family Giving Tree. Before working at the Family Giving Tree, I'd actually worked at other nonprofit organizations for over 3 years, specifically working in volunteer services. So I have a great love for working hand in hand with volunteers, really getting to the point of meaningful work within organizations. And I'm very excited to be here to move into this new venture with all of you, our wonderful drive leaders. So like Evelyn said, if anything's needed, I will be your new point of contact, starting with our upcoming 2023 Holiday Wish Drive. And so speaking of that, Evelyn's on it. This is a brief timeline of just a few dates to look out for. So on October 4th, we will be starting our drive leader registration. That's when it's opening. I will be sending out emails and reminders before then. So if you have any questions or have some troubles with the link, anything like that, there will be information that I will provide to you. On October 23rd, wrapping parties can begin. And in our next slide, I will be covering that a little bit more to go over some more information with you. Oh, perfect. Oh, Evelyn's on it. And then on November 1st, we are doing the virtual giving trees. They are going live. So if you've never ran a virtual giving tree, you have questions, you need more information, please reach out to me directly. Also on November 1st, that is when priority volunteer registration will open up. So all of you lovely drive leaders and community champions can go on there and register at that time. We are going to be having 2 webinars this year for our drive leader training. So if you cannot make one, you can attend the other. And the first will be on November 2nd. The second will be on November 8th. And then, of course, our warehouse drop-offs. So these are our official 2023 Holiday Wish Drive warehouse drop-offs will be taking place December 5th through 7th. And if you cannot make it to our warehouse, you are free to sign up for our one-day remote drop-offs. And those are going to be on the same day, the December 5th through the 7th. And we will be sending out information soon on that for locations and details to follow. And so our next slide, we are going to go over some other ways that you can help. So we have a goal this year to fulfill 44,000 holiday gift wishes. So in order to do that, we have some fun options for you. You can host a wrapping party. You can become a drive sponsor. You can also promote the drive with a public service announcement. So if you're interested in doing this, some important dates to remember are September 27th, that is the deadline. So all your sponsor logos will be included on our print materials. So make sure you get that in before the 27th. On October 4th, like I said, that's when drive leader registration will open. October 7th, that is the deadline to confirm drive sponsorship. And then October 23rd through December 11th is when wrapping party bookings are available. So if you're interested in booking a wrapping party, that will be the time to go ahead and book. And if you need additional information, I will go ahead and refer you to my wonderful coworker, Margarita Galindo. She is our institutional giving officer, and she knows everything about this area. She would be happy to help you. And at the very bottom of your screen, you can see that's her email and her phone number to reach out to her directly. And then for my last, together we can. If you need to reach me, feel free to email me, call me. I am a phone person, so we can definitely chat over the phone as well. And I look forward to working with every single one of you and making those connections with all our wonderful drive leaders. So thank you for meeting with me today and letting me speak a little bit about what we have coming up.
Yay! I'm so excited to have Ashley on the team, and I'm so excited for you because she's awesome. So everybody be really, really nice to her so she, feels all the love that I have felt from you all, because you all have been really, really wonderful over the years. I'm not going anywhere again. So if you end up having any questions, or you're just like, oh, I don't remember who to reach out to, and you end up reaching out to me, that's totally fine. We will redirect you appropriately, or I can help you. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so that is pretty much the end of the program. We just want to say thank you again, ending it with this last slide here. This is a photo of one of the distributions from Santee Elementary in San Jose. And it's been a really wonderful and special season working with you all. And Holiday Wish Drive is coming up. So let's do it again, folks. Who's ready? Thank you so much. You've been wonderful. It's been a great, great, great summer. And we couldn't be happier. So thank you. Good job. Great job. Here we go. I'm not throwing more confetti, but here. Congrats to you all. Congrats to us. We love you so much. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day.